All right, hey guys, today is our third and final day of looking at marketing. So, day one, we created some kind of project, right? Maybe something that was realistic, maybe something that, wasn't quite so realistic, but either way, something that you found a solution to a problem, or it was just really cool to have. I don't know. Then yesterday, we kind of looked at that target audience and creating things like a logo and different things like that. So today, we're going to wrap up kind of looking at some marketing. So I've got just a couple slides, and then I'm going to turn you loose on your last day of creativity. Now, each of these days, I would tell you if you finish early today, to go back and look at all those other days. Each of these design components are worth 50 points. So 3 days total, 150 points. And I want to see a lot of creativity, a lot of effort, and just really, really good details. Okay, so let's dive into today what I would like to teach you. Okay, so when we look at the marketing mix, this is what agricultural communicators and business people have came up with. There's basically four major parts of marketing. Okay, we start with the product. That's what you did the first day. We created a product, and then we look at promotion, then we look at place, and we look at price. And so I want you to see this right here and really pay close attention to this because it's going to help you in today's lesson. The first day we did product. Okay, we looked for something that could be useful, that there might be a demand for, something that would appeal to the customers. If you were actually designing this for real, we would look at things like design, color, brand names. Obviously, the brand name needs to really explain what it does. Sometimes we see packaging in a store that's not very clear, and we're like, what does that product do? We don't take time to sit there and think about it and ponder. We just move on and don't buy it because we don't want to waste our time, and we can be a little lazy sometimes, right? So you want products that will really appeal to people easily, okay? Then we look at promotions, and this is where we talk about things like having sales and getting publicity out there using things like social media or influencers or different things like that. Sometimes we do half off at the beginning. I think about this new car wash here in town and how they've got that subscription type service. In that first week, right, you could get it for almost nothing. And I'm sure I would just guess that the prices probably went up since then. Okay, but we're really going to focus on some of these right here. One thing we're going to focus on today is place. So having it at the right place is important. If you watch Shark Tank, you see this about how distribution is important, right? You want to have the right amount of these, but the first slide that you fill out today, you're going to tell me where are you going to distribute this. You're going to give me several different avenues, okay? Is this something that's more custom made? And if it's custom made, maybe we want to sell it off our website. Maybe we want to sell it off Amazon. Maybe we have a shop where we do that, right? But if it's custom, we're not putting it in places like Walmart or Tractor Supply or Atwoods or stuff like that. Maybe it's something that we're just trying to get out to as many people as possible. And we want to think about the right store, right? We're not going to put a self-feeding, pog feeder. We're not going to put that in Bath and Body. All right. So one thing I'm going to ask you to do is think about what is your plan for distributing? How are you going to appeal this? Are you going to do giveaways, or you can have discounts on it? Or you can have referrals, or what stores are you going to put it in? You're going to give me those details. Okay. And the second thing I'm going to ask you to add with that is price. What do you think? Kind of do a little research and explain to me your answer. But what is it going to cost you to make it? And then how much are you going to sell it for? And that's kind of interesting. If you, once again, I love the Shark Tank TV show. And you see some of that, right, where they talk about their margins, right? You want to have 60, 70% margins, meaning, if I'm making this for $1, then I'm probably selling it for $7. And so we've got to make that money off that, okay? Today, the focus really is going to be on advertising. So the other day, we talked about what's our target market, who are we trying to reach, what are the demographics of people that we're looking for? Are we looking for farmers and ranchers? Are we looking for gardeners? Are we looking for young people, old people? What type of people do you think your project typically would appeal to, okay? But this third bullet is what I really want you guys to think about, because for today's assignment, you're going to create 2 different types of advertisements, and you can see your options there. We have things like flyers, websites, billboards, TV ads, radio ads, magazines, newspapers, all that type of stuff. And we want to think about what reaches our audience. If we're trying to reach young people, a newspaper article, not going to work, right? If we're reaching elderly people, a TikTok video seems kind of like a foolish idea. So we want to have the proper advertising channels, okay? Some advice that we've seen on advertisements, these catchy slogos are really good, right? Things that just kind of jump out at you. And we can use those logos as our advertisement. We want to kind of catch some interest and make a desire there. So here's the first. Like I said, you're going to make 2 forms of advertisement today. The first one that I'm going to make you make for sure is a flyer. I want you to make a flyer for your project. What does a flyer have? Well, typically a flyer has a lot of pictures, right? It's going to be something that gets our interest. So, you look at this and it makes you want pizza. Okay. You can put fake contact information on there. You don't have to put your real number or your real email address or anything like that. But you want to have some kind of contact information, even if it's fake, on your flyer, because in real life, how am I going to reach Ernesto's Pizzeria Corner, right? Okay. If you look at this one right here, once again, it's very clear what it's about. So we have things on here like prices and how we can get things cheaper and what's good about it. It also shows the product. Okay. So that's important. You see these for cattle sales, right? So we definitely put these pictures on here to get people's attention and kind of have some good selling points there. Okay. So one you're going to create is that. The second one can be up to you. You're not actually going to make the second one, but you're going to give me a plan. It's almost like typing out several paragraphs. If you were going to do a commercial, what would your commercial look like? Would you have a celebrity come in and do it? What would the scene look like? So you could do a commercial, TV commercial, radio, influencer. I don't know what you're thinking about doing there. But if you were to make this, which we're not, your commercial will be very short, like a video or like a minute, okay? Because our attention spans are very short. So here's what I'm expecting of you today to kind of sum it all up. You're going to go to Google Classroom. You're going to create a PowerPoint just like we've done the last 2 days. And you are going to fill in the following slides. The first slide is going to give me a plan on how you're going to distribute this product. So tell me specific stores you would do this. Would you do this retail in person? Would you do it online? Would you use Amazon? Delivery to houses? What do you think the best way for that specific product? And tell me why. Explain why you would do that path. Number 2, tell me some promos that you would use. Maybe having it on sale or doing a referral plan, or I don't know, setting up a booth at a trade show or something like that. What promos are you going to do to get initial customers? The big part of your grade is slide 3 and 4. Just like I've shown you guys a bunch of flyers, I want you to create a flyer for your product. And so you can do this on Canva or somewhere like that and screenshot it or save it and copy and paste it, whatever you want to do. But you're going to include the benefits of that product, some pictures on there, contact information if I wanted to buy your product. Once again, that contact information can be fake. That's fine. And the fourth one, you're not going to make it for real, but you would create a plan. And I want a very detailed plan for that second type of advertisement, whether it be a newspaper ad, TV, radio, billboard, or any other thing that you can think. And then once you're done, like I said, you will turn that in. Last thought before we wrap up kind of these work for the week here. Each of these assignments on marketing are worth 50 points each, right? So 150 points for this project that you've done in my class this week. The number one thing I'm looking for is lots of detail, lots of effort in designing this stuff. And I recognize some of you are not as tech savvy, kind of like me, not as tech savvy either. But that's something still to think about. If you finish early today, man, you should be going back and looking at each of those 3 projects that you've done. You can unsubmit it and resubmit it if you want. So that you can get access to some of those old PowerPoints. That's totally fine. But when I come back early next week and I grade these, I'm going to want to see lots of detail. I'm going to want to see lots of effort in planning these out. Man, if I see slides with 1 sentence on there or just kind of halfway done things, that's really going to be the way that your grade can kind of sink on this. And I don't want that to happen. So work on this. I do have my phone with me on the trip to Indy, and I check my email a couple times a day. So if you have any questions on specifics with anything with this assignment or anything, please let me know. I look forward to seeing you guys in class on Monday for both my 8th and 9th graders. We're going to move on to ag mechanics. 8th graders, we're looking at small engines, and 9th graders, we're looking at electricity. And I look forward to doing that with you guys next week. Take care. Have a great rest of your week.